Alright then. I think that's up and running now. Some people were practicing for this. Not that far away from the end of the season now. In all facets of F1 racing, by the looks of it. And, well, with the ability to get to the, well, within like 6 less races left of the season, there'll be 4 after this actually, it's entirely possible that we crown champion tonight. But it's gonna require a lot to go in the favour of the Williams for that to happen, and well, also, you never say never. It might not be this week he does it. It's probably going to be next week. Sayed, hello. How you doing? Don't mind me yawning. Uni, the early mornings for uni's already catching up for me, and I've done about 2 days. Actually going to be going pretty soon here. Looks like we're going to go with 19 people. Who is going to put themselves on pole here? So, last week I mentioned that we've had a staggering amount of people who won a race. Different winners, shall I say, this season. I'm going to count how many there is there actually. 1, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's 10 different winners in sprint this season as we head on to on round 15 and 16. Joe needs to win both of them tonight to stand a chance of winning the title tonight, and well, we're about to find out how likely that is. Mexico first, the straight line speed is going to play a lot of a factor here, and then afterwards Kota. Couple of tracks that are going to probably not play to the strength of that Williams car. But we're about to get going either way. Got 2 more, as per usual, it's 1-shot quali, followed by a 25% race, and then we go to a different track and repeat the same charade. And well, Matt's retired from the session, so Matt doing what he usually does from the back. Joe not having the greatest of times in this straight. Start is 16th into the first corner and didn't really move anywhere either afterwards, but the chicane had definitely played him back in. Or it did for a minute, but the straights are going to kill his car today. But Staber looks to be in cruise control right now. Will and Bloodwave, the two that are going after Joe, and Will just had an awful couple of corners by the looks of it, and Bloodwave currently in 4th. Joe's got to get a move on. And he definitely just got to move on. Look at that. Oh, there goes Staber. There goes Staber. We keep banging on about it when it comes to Staber. is how likely is Staber to keep the car on the track at any given moment, and well, that's prime example right there. And Joe's in second, Bloodwave and Will absolutely nowhere to be found. Oh, and Joe just invalidated. Joe just invalidated. Ouch. That is an ouch. So did Will and Blood, but that is a dent in Joe's title hopes today anyway. It's not... He will eventually win it, but it's a case of how quickly can he win it. But it's Robin that's going to start on pole. You've got both McLarens in the top three, but the front row is Robin and Major. Robin cruise control after the other people's mistakes and invalidations on their laps, and that certainly opened the door for Robin to just storm ahead. And well, if that qualifying was anything to go by, then it might be a continuation of that in the race. Boomer in third, Major in second, Boomer in third, Millsy in fourth. Millsy's one to watch for sure. Swen fifth in the AlphaTauri, not really done an awful lot this season. Looks like Jack's sixth. But with people, well, it's going to be a dry race and long 25% race, especially for those at the back. Joe, Blood, and Will, they all three of them have to start making a charge. Well, Joe doesn't. He could probably sit back, do nothing for the rest of the season, and probably win the title from here, but it's beside the point. Here we go for 5 red lights, and it's lights out, away we go. Who's got the better start here? The Ferrari's got the better start by a country mile. Robin is awful off the line, and Millsy, they're going to look to go 3 wide already, and they head down the straight all the way down toward turn 1, and that Aston Martin's clear. It looked like he was clear, but he's going to be right beside Robin, who manages to hold on for a split second and then loses the position to that Aston Martin eventually. He's going to fight it back. He got it as well. So that's a alright start, I guess, from Robin. Starting on pole, I think he would be slightly annoyed with his inability to take advantage, but he's going to keep it there at the moment anyway. We go down the grid. Joe's in 10th already. A few people had absolute catastrophes off the start. We'll have a look at Font and Swen going at it. Looks like Font got past Swen. He's in the Alpine versus the AlphaTauri. A few people had absolute nightmares. So, in particular, enough to take Joe up a few places. Font and Swen going at it again, and the AlphaTauri's been pushed slightly off the track. I'm going to put tire thing on. And Staber's just got past Bloodwave as well, so it's all looking good for Joe if he can get a move on. Bloodwave and Will going at it. Which are actually going to... Oh, wait, what happened there? Joe and Bloodwave have both come in the pit. Bloodwave gets 5 seconds and Joe has no front wing. Staber's closing in on Rigo. Rigo's going to hold him for a little bit longer while he attempts to make a move on Jack, and he does it into turn 1. Gets that done rather nicely. Reaper and Font. Oh, Jack lowers the car a little bit. He's managed to, well, he's not hold on to the position. Yellow flag in sector 2. That's Millsy and Major. That's Millsy and Major. Those two have had an absolute collision. 3 seconds for Alu for corner cutting. There's no front wing on Reaper's car. The Ferrari's just been tapped, and that. Oh, and there goes Alu in what could I believe was just quite unfortunate. He just get boxed in and tapped behind, but that's an unfortunate event. Oh, there goes Staber again, who's lost his car on the middle sector, and I think that's brought out a virtual safety car as one of the Alpines have just gone storming off the track. That has brought out the VSC. We get to neutralize the race a little bit here. And with that, you've got the McLaren 1-2. Robin 3 seconds up on Bouma, and honestly, from here he should be able to storm his way quite the way through. Hard might be where you have to go from here, to be completely honest with you. Not entirely sure medium can make it. But after Bouma in second, you've got Truco in third, 2 seconds further back, and Font in fourth. Swen not going to give up on Font, on his battle with Font anytime soon. Rigo and Mildy 6th and 7th. Let's have a look at Mildy's car, see if he's got any damage from the incident he had with Major, I believe it was. It didn't look like he had, so it looked like Major's come off a lot worse. So Major's gone on to the hards, DRS is enabled, so we're going again, and Alu and Staver both went on the mediums. Try and get them to the end. And no one's really in shooting range, I don't think, at the moment. Font's just got 3 seconds, which immediately changes my sentence. And here comes Jack and Reaper. Reaper, I think, still has front wing damage from the incident with Alu and co, and Jack just sends him a little bit too deep. I think he gives it back. Yellow flag in sector 3 is an Alfa Romeo, and Hallinen's gone round. Oh, Hallinen's not going to be happy with himself there. We've got Reaper with that no front wing on the side there. Oh, he also stopped for a illegal overtake. I think he may have just clobbered Jack's car. I'm not entirely sure. Looks like his car is pretty much still intact, the Alfa Romeo, but I'm not entirely sure what was going on there. Swen's closing in on Font. Font with 3 seconds and within DRS range on the back of El Truco, who is way off the pace of the 2 McLarens sat in front of him. Bouma has closed that gap in by about 4/10 since the virtual safety car, though. We're on lap 4. He's got to get a move on. Either that or Robin's going to make it another different winner. I'm pretty sure I've not seen Robin's name. Oh, that's Saeed. Luke and Jacko going at it as well, and the Red Bull finally gets past the Alfa Romeo. Maybe the Alfa Romeo tries to fight back. I'm not entirely sure if the Alfa Romeo has damage or not. Looks like it's possible. Front wings look a lot lower than everyone else's. There goes Rigo and Mildy going at it. Bloodwave gets 3 seconds for track limits, and here comes Rigo trying to take on Mildy as they go into turn 1, and it looked like Mildy's able to hold Rigo off for another few corners yet. DRS here is not going to be able to do anything, but DRS is going to do something for Swen, and he's going to try and take Font here. They're going to go too wide, and Swen on the outside into the following corner. Going to get a better exit there than Font does, and Swen gets that done relatively easily, and Font tried to put up a fight, but wasn't able to put up a very effective one. He is still on the back of Swen here, may be able to do something at the end of this winding section of track. But Swen also had DRS on El Truco in front of him, so he gets 3 seconds, and Bloodwave retired in the pit. So that is one. Oh, Swen's had a little bit of a slide there. Too much on the inside, and well, he's now liable to another shot. Here comes Font. No DRS now for Swen. 3 seconds for Hallinan. And Font should be able to make this work very easily on those soft tyres. With DRS and slipstream, it should be done well before. Whoa! Oh, it's Bloodwave's car, and everyone's just chaos getting out the way of it. Mildy lost a position because Bloodwave's car is there as well, so retiring in the pits has cost people there. That Williams car is still going. I'm not entirely sure why. Hallinan and Saeed are going at it. Reaper and Jack as well. They're going to go through turn into the second DRS straight here. Is Saeed going to be able to do anything to Hallinan? He is not. He's too far back. Yellow flag behind. That's Alu. That's Alu. Yeah, Alu spun it on the end of the chicane. Font's got another 3 seconds. Because he apparently doesn't know what a white line looks like. We've got things happening all over the place here. Alu gets 10 seconds for corner cutting. Alu's about to be out of the session entirely. And still a battle going on between Font, Swen and everyone else. Will and Mildy going at it, but I think that's Mildy coming into the pits more than anything else. It is. Same with Luke, but Luke just got 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, which allowed for Matt to be temporarily 10th. Font's able to hold on a little bit longer to Swen. But will this DRS straight point in a different direction? It looks like Swen's pulled himself alongside already, and he has. And I think he's also got in front. He has 5 seconds of speed in the pit lane for Alu, who just retires on in the pit lane, and his car's probably going to have to do the same thing Bloodwave does, so he might have another instance of a problem there. Might have to ban retiring in the pit lane on Mexico. There's also something happening between Swen and El Truco there. El Truco all over the place. Swen had to go a little bit deep to get past, and he does get past. And here comes Font as well. There's 3 seconds for Jack, and Font down the inside. Spins on the tap. Tries to get too much on the inside, and even though it's possible no space was left, I don't think he was getting it very well on the corner there anyway. And at the same time, ruined his own race. In the pits comes Rigo, and Font still out. Probably should be coming in at this point. That's the voice I haven't heard in a while. Hello, Iggy. Hello. But yeah, there's everything going. Well, I say everything's going on. People can't seem to keep the car on track for every reason under the sun at the moment. Joe up to 10th after other people pit, but he's still got to pit himself. We've lost Alu and Bloodwave. Those two usually good. Oh, and El Truco sliding the car there. He's managed to hold it and not lost any positions as a result. So he's done well enough, but his penalty's also going to come back to bite him at the end. Yellow flag in sector 2. That's Swen, who's just for some reason drove himself back into the wall again. He's in 8th place, and now got rear wing damage as he attempts to get himself on the track again. I think Saeed's about to just jump on through as well, and he does in the Alpine, sorry. Oh, and Robbie gets 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Oh no, that's not good. He might have just thrown away his chance at a win. Might just hand this one to Boomer on a plate. Will still coming at him as well. Will still having the pit. Same with Font, Reaper, the whole of the top 6. Same with Saeed and Swen. Albeit I think Swen's about to come in now, regardless of what happened before. We might have a Zandvoort-esque situation where he tries to do more laps than he really should on the softs. Yeah, now everyone seems to be having a problem here. But we do need to fix that retiring in the pit, bringing out the car all the way through the beginning of the first sector issue, though. That if we do Mexico, whether or not it's next season on the 50% tiers or whenever that does actually end up being. Mexico can be a fun track, especially if you get the into the swing of it. As soon as you get into a rhythm, it can be one that's very satisfying to drive. Will here is actually doing himself a solid run, because he disqualified in qualifying, remember. He had his lap invalidated, and bearing in mind that Joe isn't having having a great day at the moment. Yellow flag in sector 2, it's for the Red Bull, and Luke's gone as well. They aren't DNFing though, they're only losing their front wings. And Matt goes on through, Reaper goes, Font's gone into the pit, so that allows people to go on through. Let's have a look further back if they've got any sort of battles. There's Joe, we've done 7 laps on the soft so far, and I think his pit lane might be awaiting him soon enough. Then you've got, well, Font coming out of the pits, coming up as well. And here comes Rigo. Rigo's going to go to storm past him. With the fresher tyres, he makes quick work of that. And up into 8th goes Rigo, and Joe losing a couple. Mildy's the next one, the next target. They're trying to take that place off of Joe, and the more that Joe falters here, the better it is for Will, who's trying to close that gap with 6 races left of the season. Trying to do the impossible task. Yes, it's F1 rules basically. For this, it's you have to use 2 separate compounds, etc. It's just the exact same as F1. It's just a 25% race. Mildy hasn't really been able to make that move that we saw Rigo do down the main straight. Maybe he's looking for it on the main straight of the following lap as well. Font picks up another 3 seconds because apparently screw track limits for him. He's set up behind Stable and Font here. There's 5 seconds for Jack. Severe collision with Reaper. And they go into the pits. And that is not good news. Well, that's a penalty for another person on the track. All these penalties are about to end up cancelling each other out. Boomer currently clear at the moment. And here comes Mildy on Joe. As I said on the last lap, he's waiting until the straight to get it done. Yellow flag in sector 3. It's for a Red Bull, I think. I'm not entirely sure who stopped on track there. You've got 2 Aston Martins with a Williams and then 2 Haasers on the back of them. Will comes out with fresh tyres in 8th, and honestly, I got to make a charge now. The top, well, 3 of the top 4 still have to pit onto soft tyres. We've seen that 9 laps is doable on those soft tyres. The guy in 7th, Joe, the championship leader right now, is the one currently doing 9 laps on them, and in comes Boomer, so he's taken wind that he needs to get on those soft tyres as quickly as possible to try and catch up to Robin. He's got about a 15-second gap at the moment. Yellow flag in sector 2 into Red Bull again, and Luke's dropped to the back. We'll actually have a look further back and see whether or not Will is going to close down Joe quite quickly. Robin is out clear. He's got a 5-second though, and in comes Joe into the pit, so Luke's out of the session entirely. Luke's actually out on track, so that might, depending on how quick those McLarens can get around, cause a safety car. Looks like they might get that one cleared up, actually. It doesn't look like those McLarens are going to get anywhere near close enough. But also, Robin 6 seconds out, 6 seconds out in front. Bearing in mind he has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Which Boomer's going to try and take advantage here. He's going to need 1.3 seconds to try and win this race. But he's got to get a move on. Further down the grid, you've got True to Will in 5th, who's trying to catch Rigo and Mildy. These 2 in front of him don't have penalties, so they've the Will's actually got to make some overtakes for a podium here. And it's on 2 tier 1 guys as well, so yeah, he isn't. It's, if anything, that gap's opening up. It's 6.8 now and half a second. The gap in the last lap for Robin, and well, Boomer's got to get a move on. He's got to get a move on very quickly, otherwise that is not going to be close enough. You know, Reaper just overtaken Hallinan. Joe in 15th. So, whilst it's, I'm pretty sure it's equivalent to GT feature race points. I'm not entirely sure on that. But that's going to be a huge gain for Will. But I don't know if it's enough of a gain for him to... He would need to do this in every single race for the rest of the season with this kind of gain, I'm pretty sure. His gap's currently 75 points. Will trying his best. Oh, there goes the Aston Martin! He's managed to save the car, but the Haas is going to go on through without much of an effort. The Aston Martin losing the front of the car there. He's just lost it, and well, also Staber's going to get 3 seconds worth of time penalties in the process. But yeah, Mildsey lost the car and lost the position as well, and now Will got 1.7 seconds to catch to Rigo in front of him. And Bouma has actually brought that within 6 seconds now. Reaper gets 3 seconds. And considering the tyres aren't needed anymore, he's not dropping back anymore. That's 5.6 seconds now between Robin and Bouma. And bearing in mind, that gap needs to be 6/10 shorter. If it's 6/10 shorter, then it's going to be Booma's day. We're on lap 14, so I don't know if Bouma can get himself in within that gap, and he's got to do his work to maintain it at that point. It's 1.6 seconds here between Rigo and Will, though. And Will needs all the points he can get right now, as Joe on Hallinan is something that just happened there in 14th, and now you've got El Truco and Mildy after Mildy's incident on the prior lap. They're going to go side by side, a little bit of a collision there. It looks like El Truco's not got enough space, but they both get round regardless, and Truco's going to get the better exit, and therefore the position as well. That Mercedes versus that Aston Martin, Mercedes is going to win every day of the week. Especially when you put it on pure pace. It's unrealistic performance this, so it's as the cards would be in real life, or what Codemasters deems real life. El Truco's going straight after Will here. He's got 3 seconds worth of penalties though, so his position is going to drop him back at least behind Mildy at this rate. But Will's got to get a move on. Will 2.1 seconds, and Bouma is on the brink of that 5-second mark. A gap go, there's an overtake trying to happen there behind as well. Here comes Staber on Mildy. That Haas on the inside may be able to get something done. Not actually, because that Aston Martin's going to hold the inside line on the chicane, and well, when you hold the inside line on that chicane, you're going to hold that position as well. Font with 9 seconds worth of penalties, trying to make a move on Staber, and isn't really able to do an awful lot. Hello, Alu. And Joe gets 3 seconds. So that might be a position handed back from Joe as well. So the more mistakes Joe makes, the better it is for Will. Bloodwave not able to take advantage himself after crashing out. Watching this horror must be entertaining. Look at the penalties on the side. That's all you need to know to answer that question. You've got Truco half a second back on Will, and that's not exactly going to change an awful lot, I don't think. The Mercedes is quick, but Will seems to have its game on the top tier when it comes to sprint. He's usually really good, or has been this season. Bouma, sorry, back towards 5.1 seconds after the last couple of laps, losing time, and Staber's going to get Mildy, and those two are going to go into the corner against each other, and Booma's currently inside that 5-second mark, and Staber's going to get that position finally done on Mildy. And that's going to open the door for Font behind, possibly. Staber also had DRS, so Mildy's just a sitting duck. But yeah, it's 4.7 seconds now. Oh, and that's a deep corner for the Aston Martin. Mildy goes very deep. Truco in front as well is trying to hunt down Will. They've got what, 2.5 laps to the race left, and Bouma is still within that 5-second gap. He's holding his own. How he was within that 5-second gap. There's going to be extremely close between Bouma and Robin here. And Truco a little bit later on the brakes, can afford to be in that Mercedes against that Haas, and not really posing much of a threat to Will at the moment. Yellow flag in sector 2, AlphaTauri, Swen in the wall, the exact same place that Luke did it not that long ago in the Red Bull. And well, Swen's lost, I assume Swen's lost his front wing, but able to carry on nonetheless. Here comes Truco on Will. Truco's got 3 seconds anyway, so it's not going to matter. Who's going to have the inside line? A little bit of a collision there between the two of them. Just straight up a wheel bang. And through the chicane, you've got the two horses going after each other now. 3 second penalties is going to will both those positions back if he was to lose it to Staber here. We're on lap 17 of 18. Staber not able to make his move on his teammate for the day. He's going to try now, and Mildy's going to be able to pull it and park himself alongside that horse on the outside. And Jack gets 3 more seconds, and somehow Mildy got from fighting with Staber to right beside Font and making Font spin out. The two of them, I can only assume, coming together there. That's an odd spin. And, well, Font's going to drop a few positions. He's also going to drop because of the penalties that follow as well. So is Jack. Those 11 seconds. Drop all the way behind, all the way towards Matt in 14th, I think. We've still got people going on here. We've still got a race going on. 1 lap 18 of 18. And, well, Will lost the DRS here to Truco. Yellow flag in sector 2. That's Swen again, isn't it? That's another Aston Martin, as we got a battle on the grid here as well between Staber and Mildy, and Staber's going to win that battle again. He's been doing it all day against Mildy, and Mildy has not really been able to answer back. And since his mistake earlier on, it's been Staber just holding him out. And Swen spun again. Swen is not having a fun time. He might be about to be lapped. And we've got Robin heading into the stadium section on the final lap now. Everyone on their feet. They've got the fireworks going off. And round the second to last. And round the last he goes. Robin with the 5 seconds. He isn't able to get that 5 second gap. So it's Boomer's day. And Boomer in the McLaren going to steal it off the other McLaren in this race. And Boomer is going to win. Robin's going to take second. Riga's going to take the bottom step of that podium after all. Will's going to take 4th. Truco settling for 6th. And Mildy takes 5th. Staber drops to 7th. Major's going to get 9th, I'm pretty sure. After Jack's God knows how many penalties. And Jack's going to stay 9th. Joe gets 10th. The gap closed in by Will in this one. Reaper 11th. Matt 12th. And that was all over the place. From start to finish. Driver of the day, Will. I'm inclined to agree with that. And that gap has well and truly closed now. However, still think he's going to need a miracle to do it. It was 75. It'll be somewhere in the 60s now. And with 5 races to go now, he's going to need every single mistake in the book for Joe. He's going to need Tier 1 Joe. This race is dirtier than R. Kelly's search history. Oh my God. Oh, okay. I was not expecting that kind of comment. That is a brilliant one, but still. But yeah. Robin unable to convert his pole into a win after his own mistakes, his own pit stop error cost him by less than 4/10 of a second. And that's the finishing. That's the standings for the first race. Rigo 3rd, on the bottom step of the podium, just able to race his own race and get there. Will in 4th, Mildy in 5th, taking advantage of penalties for the 2 behind. Truco's 6th, Staber 7th, after Staber had his own spins earlier on and spins in qualifying as well as in validation. Jack gets 9th after literally every penalty under the sun. I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have a look and see if Bouma has won a race this season. Bouma hasn't won a race this season. So after 15, that makes it 11 different winners. It's been about consistency for some of these guys, and it's 14 laps around the USA, around Kota. But I think the biggest winner of that one was definitely Will. Also means we won't see a champion crown today, especially in the drivers, and I don't think the constructors could have been won today regardless. So yeah, it's one of those the championship's no longer up for grabs today. We today needed Joe to win both races, and Will and a couple of us dropping quite considerably back, which we did not get in the first race. So it could be in, well, unless Joe decides to have another nightmare here, more than likely next week we see his championship go to him. Bear in mind, he is, I believe, the current reigning champion. We're going at 38 for the next race. Well, so most of this is medium soft of Isersa strategies, obviously. One shot mixes up the grid quite a lot. There's one mistake and that's game. But 14 laps to make up for it. People not particularly happy with the starting in this tier. But yeah, there's a few things that can actually happen here. I'm just messaging someone on Discord, sort something out for later on. At the same time, we've got 2 minutes until the next race starts. So, to people who are still watching the stream, have you got any sort of predictions for what you think the podium is going to be in the next race? That's a very shaken up podium for the race in Mexico. I don't think we've seen that podium so far this season. So a lot of things change on a race-to-race basis. Also, how many DNFs do you think we're going to get? That's the two questions I want to ask. What do you think the podium is going to be? How many people you think are going to DNF? As for how many you think, just your own predictions. Jack getting every penalty shock. Yeah, no, that's nothing new. It's either that or he ends up spinning. We should be going in about a minute's time. We put in chat that it was all going at 38. Doesn't look like the greatest connections in the world down the side there either. But yeah, there's a lot of storylines just pervading through the entire entire script, shall we put it that way. Staber's inability to keep it on track. Joe actually doing the one thing he can't do in tier racing in ALR. It's on a Thursday night. Don't forget, shameless thing, but on a Thursday night, tier 1, 3 and 5 all race. Same time. 8 o'clock on a Thursday night, and yours truly is the voice of tier 1. Which actually had an incredibly exciting title race going on. 7 points between Mitchell and BR4. And honestly, could change from race to race. I think the Ferrari might have a bit of an edge at Singapore, but going to the other two might swing back in the way of the Alfa Romeo. You don't know. Things happen. And, well, one crashes out. It could easily swing the entire championship. Because one crashing out would then require a mistake off the other. It looks like we're pretty much ready to go now. We've got people readied up. So we're heading into Kota now. Those inside curbs can do a lot of damage if you get this wrong. But this track overall shouldn't pose too many problems other than the other people on the track. If you try to go potentially 2 or 3 wide in the chicane bit, the S's bit here, sorry, you are very much playing with fire. Also, up the hill, wrong setup, and that car could get very unstable very quickly. But yeah, this sprint's usually a lot of fun. Especially a lot of fun to commentate. I can tell you that much. These one-shot qualies aren't my best friend. One-shot quali is not too great to commentate on. Should be only about 12 seconds away from the qualifying start once again. So Bouma won the first race today. It's his first win of the season. And for what has been realistically a terrible season for Bouma. He'll be happy with making up for it there. Matt continues to go to the back after every qualifying. He has his own reasons for that, which are commendable, that's for sure. Jack's out. How has Jack crashed that early? But yeah, Matt does his to the back for a decent cause, to be fair, so I can understand why he did it. Everyone else just having a bit of a problem right now. That includes the current main title rival. Will's having an awful time of it. There goes Hallinan to the back of the grid. Bouma, who won the race at Mexico, very clearly not enjoying himself here. Will still nowhere near anyone else, and Bloodwave and Joe going at it to who can be on the front row, besides Staber, who at this current time seems to be keeping his car on track for once. As he comes down, the third to last corner, can he keep his car on track for another pole? He's going around the final corner, one last attempt at not spinning his car, and it's going to be Staber on pole by 1/10 of a second. And Will's going to jump a couple of places. He starts 13th, and that is not great news for the Haas, who realistically had to try and take the fight for Joe every single race to the end of the season. And as it stands, he's just losing all the points he had gained into the last race, giving Joe an extra chance. But Staber on pole, we do see that quite a lot. He usually is on pole a decent chunk of time here, and then puts it into the wall. It's usually the stable way of doing things here. But let's see if he's going to be able to hold it on track for his 4th win of the season. Joe also looking for his 4th win of the season. Both 1 and 2 that are only multiple time winners so far in this sprint season, and in a couple weeks time. 2 weeks today is the final race for the season, which I believe is Silverstone and Spa. I think the final 2 weeks did the entire race calendar for sprint. Right then, we should see people about to get on the grid. Here we go. As soon as I say that, that's 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out, away we go. Who's got the better start, Staber or Joe? It looks like someone in the back there, one of the Alpes, has just got a lightning start. It looks like the Haas is going to be able to take that into turn 1. McLaren as well, trying to put his nose in things, still in 3rd though, just hanging off the back of Joe. Had a little bit of a thing with the Aston Martin back there. Couple of people having oh, Jack's out! Wow, his tyre's gone in the background and he's got no front wing either. That's a safety car if I've ever seen one, yeah. Well, race is immediately neutralised. That did not take long. It's going to buy Staber an extra couple of laps at the front. A couple of laps less that Staber has to defend now. As for everything that's going on further down the grid, Robin's still in 3rd after attempting to get Joe off the start, but just hanging himself a little bit too far back to be able to put something in. Major in 4th, Bloodwave in 5th. The Williams tried to do something with Joe into turn 1, just too far back as well, and has to pay the price. Swen in 6th, we're currently watching. Reaper and El Truco currently 7th and 8th. We don't look like we've got any damage on either one of those cars. The high wing there on Mildred car behind in 9th. Will now in 10th. He's jumped a few places off the start. He got 3 immediately. And because there are only currently 8 positions back on his title challenger, Robin's coming to pit. And there are a couple of people who stayed out here. Joe, Staber. So who's gone into pit then? Bunch of people on the softs have gone into pit. I'd assume some people here have already had wing damage. Everyone else going on to the mediums to try and take their pit stop early and under the safety car, but I mean, if they can get those medium tires to the end, then fair play to them. Some went on to hards even to make sure they get to the end and not have to regret the early pit stop. Everyone has to pit there eventually, and they'll all be dropping to behind them. Jack is not the happiest person in chat. Yeah, this Ghost safety car should be in this lap. Wouldn't see why it isn't. I know it's only the first lap of the safety car, but everyone was already bunched up because it's the start of the race. And there was no one really getting clear of anyone within about 4 corners. So hopefully a short safety car coming up here. Oh, what happened to McLaren? What has happened to McLaren there? Robin has had a bit of a problem there. He got no front wing, and it looked like Bloodwave had 5 seconds for the collision as well, so I think that one might be going to the stewards later on. Assume there's an incident there between Bloodwave and Robin's attempt to undercut, well, attempted gaining a free pit stop as well and truly fell by the wayside. I think we might be going around an extra lap now. I think we're going around one more time. In comes people for the pit, so Swen's come in. Not Boomer. Swen, Truco, Luke. Bloodwave obviously staying out. Well, 10th. So Will had his pit stop as well. Everyone currently 7th or back has already had their pit stop to the end of the race. Bloodwave has left the session. Should be the case that we come in at the end of this one. The very most. There's one more lap following, but I'm not entirely sure. Will just overtook the AI. I'm gonna have to give that position back. Because you can't overtake the AI, even though it's a ghosted AI, you can't overtake it under the safety car. You're gonna have to wait. So, the grid now looks incredibly different to what we had at the start. We're now split into people who did and people who didn't take the risk. Who had the balls and, well, is the kind of strategy call like that going to pay off? If it pays off, we might see a complete flip in the race ending, and it might end up Will closing the gap on Joe again. But we'll wait and see as we go along here. Will has to be careful because he has to stay behind that Williams car. Staber's gonna lead us in. Staber, I would say, able to keep on track so far, but he has realistically only done 4 corners, so I can understand how he's been able to. Here we go. So we're waiting for Staber to take us in. Joe's going to be the one that has to react rather quickly here. And we go around the final corner. I can assume that we're not going straight away. And we're going straight to the line. And we're gone now. And it looks like Staber. Yeah, Staber has caught Joe sleeping. And so has Major and Reaper as well. They both go into turn 1. And Reaper's gone extremely deep for no entire reason. And Reaper's just thrown away a chance at 2nd place. That was an awful attempt at a move, and now he's going to try and hold himself beside Boomer, who's managed to get on through as well. Reaper had his chance and blew it quite early on, and oh, there goes Will, and there goes the championship as well. It looked like Will might have been on a charge. It might have been the case that his Baldy strategy might have worked, but he's put the car around, and when you put the car around, it never ends well. And it looks like Joe might extend the gap on this particular race into next week, where it gives Joe a hefty advantage. Boomer able to hold the position from Reaper, who's got Bont right up his rear, really trying to hold himself in at the moment. Milsey, the first of the guys that pit. We've got Luke and Will, a decent chunk of the way back. Hallinan and Sven. We got people I'm actually going to watch this because we got people battling all over the place. And it looks like wait, what's happened here? Boomer and Joe have gone into the pits. Staber may just stay out, so did Reaper. Alu stayed out, obviously. We've got a few people staying out, few people decided to go in, and obviously those that took the ballsy risk at the start. Sven and Hallinan again, and there goes Hallinan so deep into the corner. He's not lost one, but he's lost two. And Major started to spin all the way down, and that is yellow. I think that's a yellow card there as well, and in turn we've got the race neutralized once again, and well, the gutsy call you might have called gutsy without a second safety car now looks plain stupid. Obviously people at the time weren't know a second safety car coming, and Bump just decided that he's going to ignore the yellow flags. Staber dropped to third. Staber looked like he had a problem as well. Joe pitted the lap before. People are going to be able to take that advantage back. Let's see where people come out then. Will in front of Joe at this current time. I don't know how long that will last. But Will's going to be able to get himself on the back of everyone again. And there goes Bont, there goes Staber. Reaper doesn't pit. No, done the medium tires decide not to. Alu obviously pit already. Same with Rigo, Sven, Truco. Matt into 7th, Robin in 8th after the incident with Bloodwave. That's ignoring yellow flags for the Ferrari. Will in 9th, so Will having to hold off Joe now, and this could be rather big for the championship. If there's an incident of coming together here, then we've got a lot that could change. Couple of guys in front still have to pit. They will come out behind Will, Joe, etc. So that's another 2 positions gained. You got people like Truco and Matt that should be passable as well, so it could be a top 4 spot here for one of these two. Well, Will's just going to pull alongside Robin for a minute. Everyone behind's on fresh tyres. One DNF so far. The only person in the DNF was Jack. The safety car not going to come in this lap. I'm going to close the window for the moment. It's absolutely freezing in here now. And yeah, there's still penalties going on down the grid. Someone had a yellow flag penalty. I think it was Font earlier on. He served his. Why he's currently 14th, back behind Staber. As for Matt, he hasn't served his, but he is going to go in now to serve it. Five seconds on the safety car is not a big loss. He goes on to another pair of softs, I can only imagine. Safety car should be in this lap. Matt drops to the back. Everyone on medium or hard now, minus Matt. Including Reaper and Saeed, who have still not pit. Which I believe is a very interesting position. Why you don't start on the medium guy. We should be heading in this lap. That's the Ferrari joining on the back of everyone, so the third sector line should be announcing that we're coming in this lap, and it is. So, Reaper's gonna lead us in this one. We know what happened the last time Reaper did a safety car. And back us up from a way back from the like 4th or 5th from the end. Not really allowing a lot of gap between him and the safety car. We're going now. Okay, so he decided to go now, and he's very clearly caught Saeed by surprise. It's an early one, and he caught me by surprise as well, but he's certainly not caught Alu. And here comes Swen and Rigo. Swen and Rigo down into turn 1. Who's going to have the position here? It looks like the inside line. Rigo's going to hold it for a slight bit longer. Oh, now Fatari sliding. And now Truco, as a result, is going to actually go around them both. That's a good move by the Mercedes, taking advantage of what was going on between the two Tier 1 drivers. And costly mistake from the two of them. It's going to allow for the Mercedes to hold himself together here. Robin holding himself in with everyone else at the same time as well. Don't forget Reaper and Saeed still have to pit, so they're pretty much out of this race. Not unless there's another safety car and throw him back in. So Joe is in 8th. He got past Will. Will not exactly closing in on the guys in front of him, having to do a little bit of defending from Boomer. And Joe on Robin. It looks like Joe's going to get that, and maybe Will's going to try and go down the inside and take advantage of this. He's got to start making some moves. He's got to follow that Williams through, and he's got to do it. And Staber's going to follow him through as well. And that's a three-way collision. The sandwich for Boomer, for Robin, sorry. He couldn't exactly do an awful lot about it. And now he's got Boomer on his inside, and Boomer not really able to do an awful lot to defend from him there. Mildy dropped a couple positions, and him and Staver going at it. They're going to go through the final corner. And that's Alu getting in front of Saeed, and Alu might be in with a chance today. Looks like Mildy just doesn't have the pace around Kota. Font, however, looking for another move, this time on Staber. He tried to go through turn 1 at the same time. Tried to get something to go. Got one thing to go, did get 2. Alu's got 2 seconds of a gap. Well, between him and Reaper. Reaper, I'm almost certain, still having a pit. Oh, that's Aston Martin! Rigo's gone round. Yep, Saeed and Reaper stuff to stop, so. And they eventually go into soft. That's going to create a problem for those two. Robin holding off Will at the moment. He's not been able to hold off Will for much longer. Will got him through. And that's Will up to 7th, but he has desperately got to catch up to that Williams, and that Williams is slowly but surely pulling himself away and up towards Swen and Truco in front. Will able to hold himself at the moment. And it looked like him and Robin going at it. Robin looking to send one down the inside, but not actually able to get it to stick. Don't allow for Bouma to be in and about at the moment. And in comes Saeed for his pit stop. Reaper staying out, praying for another safety car at this point because he's losing. Well, not losing ground, but at the same time, he's not really gaining anything either. You see a bunch of people go past Saeed. Bear in mind, the Reaper only had 2 or 3 seconds in that, and Will's back up into 6th again, as he is not able to break Robin at the moment, but still going to get past him and hold the position for a slight bit longer. Bouma gets 3 seconds. And Robin gets 3 seconds, and Will can breathe a little bit, but until that point, Will's got to fight off Robin like he's literally got no chances left. And like no tomorrow, I think is the saying I was trying to say, but failed miserably at saying it. Joe now within DRS range of Sven, and when Joe is in the mood, he's in the mood. Not entirely sure he's in the mood tonight, but he's certainly got into a rhythm here. Bouma and Robin going at it. Bouma and Robin side by side, the 2 McLarens as they were close to each other in Mexico. Booma's going to close that door on Staber quite quickly and then go down the inside there of Robin. But Robin's going to fight it back by just simply holding the inside and then losing the exit battle on the long right-hander. Or into the long right-hander, shall I say, and Booma's going to have that position, and Will has got away. That Haas has been able to take a full advantage of the battle behind him. No DRS for the McLaren. Will be DRS for literally every other person in the race behind him, though. We've got a few people within DRS range. Sven and Joe, just to name a couple. Will 6 seconds off the back of Joe, but comfortably ahead of Robin at the moment. As Bouma! Oh, there's a collision! Oh, there's a collision going on there, and it's a title swinging collision. They're not going to win the title today, but it's almost there now for Joe. And Will drops all the way to the back. Him and Bouma just coming together through the middle section there. And I don't think that's one that Will's going to be too happy with. Staber's going to get past Robin here as he's going to try and avenge for the other Haas that just died a minute ago. Luke just got past Millsy as Millsy was having an alright day at Mexico, but in USA he's done nothing of the sort. As it stands, Booma's still going to drop outside the top 10 at the very least. Reaper's come into pit, so Alu's hit the front, Truco's hit 2nd, Sven 3rd. Reaper's done a somewhat alright job at getting himself a good gap to pit here. However, he's still nowhere when he comes out the pits. He just don't know whether or not he couldn't pit with the safety car. Didn't think the tyres on the soft could go as long, but it's it's a regrettable decision nonetheless. Bont's just got 3 seconds, dropping a few positions back at the end of the race, but I'll keep Bouma ahead of him. Rigo setting the fastest lap of the entire race as well. Will still 17th. Will 17th, Joe 4th. And I would definitely say that's advantage Williams over the day. Millsy and Bloodwave in the constructors going nowhere as well. We go through, maybe going through the next sector, yeah, that they are still fighting 3rd and 4th, as they are holding on to the back of Truco, and here comes Joe down the inside this time. He looks for it. The exit the exit speed is with the AlphaTauri though, and he's going to hold him for a little while longer. But Joe's just reminding him he's there. And Sven having to do some sort of defensive work. And probably will have to do some sort of defensive work the entire rest of the race. Reaper came out 12th after his pit stop, and all those positions lost. That's an Aston Martin. That's Rigo. That's Rigo's span it round. Major gets 3 seconds, so that's a position there for Reaper. Yellow flag in sector. 3 at the Haas again. That's Will. That's Will gone round, this time in the long right-hander. And that's definitely the end of his race. He's probably going to still end 17th, but he's not really racing anyone anymore. So he gets ahead of Bloodwave. Will goes in the pits. Same with Rigo. Those two obviously have a little bit of damage. Either that or just going for faster laps. One of the two. Staber and Robin going at Staber and Boomer, sorry, this time. Staber's actually pulled away and able to pull himself beside Boomer. He doesn't have to force anything. That's 3 seconds for Hallinan. Reaper up to 10th. It looks like Staber's not able to get Boomer yet, and I don't think Staber's going to force anything either, because he can't get any higher unless there's a mistake from someone in front. But it looks like we might have winner number 12, because I don't believe Alu's 1-1. Swen gets 3 seconds, so that's Joe getting a position regardless. I don't think he's going to impact him much else, because simply he's not doing an awful. He's way too far ahead of Boomer and Corey here, and Staber just holding himself right behind Boomer at the moment, trying to get something to stick. Font and Robin here, tier 2 battle that we see usually on a Sunday, spilling over into sprint. And this time Reaper's going to put himself in the middle of it. Reaper isn't able to go. Oh, Reaper's just cut a corner straight up. Oh, Haas almost losing the rear of the car there. And, oh, there goes the McLaren! That's a bit of rear wing damage, I'm pretty sure. Oh, there goes Major as well! Yellow flags all over the place. As, Major's got a DNF. Couple of people going to get positioned like that. The McLaren spinning, Robin spinning is allowing for Reaper to get up a position, and then probably 2 more with the penalties. But Joe's got in front. Oh! Truco spun. There's an incident happening between Swen and Joe there as well. Is that going to allow for Swen to get into for a 3-second range? I'm not entirely sure, but round the final corner he goes, and Alu, after a dreadful few weeks for him, has taken it home at Kota. Pretty strong there from Alu, as the safety car gambled, worked in his favour. The safety car has definitely helped him out. He goes home, he goes over the line, the winner. Alu has not, in fact, won a race. So that is winner number 13. Or winner number 12, sorry. 13, 14, 15, 16 would be Joe. And yeah, it's winner number 12, sorry. But yeah, there you go. Mercedes 3-4 after a bunch of things happened at the end there. And you got Luke 5th, Mildy 6th, Boomer 7th, Staber 8th. A lot of everything happened at the end there. Imagine we aren't done when it comes to the yeah, that's a lot of things happened on that final lap, and I was not able to cover them all, but main one being that Sven able to hold on to second. Well, he able to get second after an incident, a three-way incident between him, Truco, and Joe. It ended up with Joe ending ninth, but I'm not entirely sure how that happened. Well then, that was a lot that happened in this Prix weekend, and in the end, I think Will has managed to close the gap in the championship, but he is well and truly running out of races and has to make miracles work from this point. So, and with that, I think I'm going to leave you with those standings, and then see you on Thursday. Don't forget Tier 1, 3 and 5 on Thursday at night, Thursday 8 PM. I do Tier 1, and for that, I'll see you on Thursday in a bit.